with Wise Hearts Connect. We are face reading today at the waterfront in beautiful Portland, Oregon. Most people are on breaks, but we were able to rope in a few interesting and beautiful faces to read today. Hello? Hi, I read faces. Would you be interested in a face reading?
You read faces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're making videos for YouTube.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
tell my partner about this.
Well, you can hopefully you can find it and you can share with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Go. Fluff. All right.
You look gorgeous. I'm Hilarey, by the way.
I'm Barbara.
Barbara, good to see ya.
Okay. So go ahead.
So, gosh, what I noticed about you is you have these very big open eyes, like you ingest the world. The only caution is that you have to be careful about people meaning you well, right? Because your go-to is to receive everyone, to be open to everyone. And it would be wise. My friend Lachlan has really big eyes too, and I'm cautioning him. I was like, just make sure that you surround yourself with loving people.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
because you'll love even less than lovable people.
Right.
Is that
That's
true?
true.
Is that true?
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah. You also have nice large nostrils, so you can breathe in a lot of the world, but also that suggests generosity. Do you give maybe sometimes more than you have to give?
I do. I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Your big lips also suggest just an enjoyment of the sensual pleasures of life. So, delicious food, beautiful flowers, like all of those sense pleasures.
Yes.
It seems like you can absorb them, you can enjoy them.
I have a big appetite.
A big appetite.
On a lot of levels.
Yeah.
Yes,
for
I do.
life, for food, for people, for experiences,
That's exactly
for
right.
beautiful things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm a face reader, and I was wondering if you would be receptive to having a 5-minute face reading. I'd love to do both of you.
5-minute face reading? Okay. Is there any charge? Or?
No, it's all for free. Just if you don't mind having your picture on Facebook, or I should say YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got that?
I'm Hilarey.
Hi, Lucas.
Lucas, good to meet you. Well, thank you for your receptivity to having your face read.
Yeah.
The first thing that I noticed about you is you have really beautiful white teeth.
Thank you.
And white teeth, the beautiful white teeth, suggest somebody who has a really big spirit. And your spirit shines through your eyes, but also your teeth.
Thank you.
Do you sing?
Yeah, actually I do.
Yeah, you could also, big teeth like that suggest that you could be a good singer.
Oh.
So I would encourage you to keep singing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. The other thing that I noticed about you is that you have really strong eyebrows, and that's really good liver health. And that's suggestive of somebody who, if you have a goal, you can make stuff happen.
Okay.
Is that true?
I think so. I mean, I consider myself pretty determined.
Determined?
So,
Yeah. Oh gosh. And the other thing that pops out is you have really awesome ears.
Thank you.
And your earlobes are nice and plump. And plump earlobes suggest the experience of being well taken care of later in life. So the gist is that you don't necessarily have to worry about being taken care of financially or otherwise, that you will lay a path in your life to be cared for if you need it when you're older.
Wow. Okay.
So hopefully I've mentioned that to other people and they say that it's very reassuring,
Yeah,
sort of like a
reassuring.
relief to know that you'll be cared for. It also looks like you're probably fairly conservative with spending money and taking physical risks. Is that true?
Yeah, that is actually, yeah. I am, especially with spending money.
Spending money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and your ears are a bit narrow, and that would just suggest that you're probably more comfortable being conservative than being over the top, both with your physical resources. Like if I said, hey, do you want to go skydiving? What would you say?
I would say no. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Bungee jumping, skydiving, is
Not
not
for
for
you.
me. Not for me.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's just apparent from your ears. What else can I say? The other thing that I noticed about you is that you have a relatively short forehead, and that would be suggestive of your go-to is to do things. So in school, you probably learned better by doing. Like, did you find maybe that you did better in, say, I don't know, like classes where you actually like produce something practical, like using your hands?
Yes. Yeah. The only way that I got math was through science, because it was like something tangible that I could apply to the real world. Yeah.
Yep. And then the gift of that in moving through life is that you're going to be much more of a doer, right? How do I say it? If somebody asks you for directions, you know because you've walked the streets. And you don't say, okay, go up there, take a left, take a left. You know what I mean? Like you don't get caught up in too much intellectualizing, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely a trial and error kind of person.
Yes. And then just actually the fact, like tactile, having things in your hand, learning that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Well, do you have a pretty refined sense of taste in terms of fashion and food?
Say for food, maybe for fashion too, but mostly food for sure.
Yeah. So like do you like to cook?
I love to cook.
There, that's another practical, hands-on kind of skill. Yeah.
I love to cook. I love the way flavors, mesh together and mingle and create harmony. So
and that is apparent because of your beautiful, refined lips.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Well, any questions for me?
I don't think so. I mean, all of this seems pretty spot on. Yeah, thank you.
Well, my pleasure.
And it was reassuring. I appreciate all of that. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you.
And your name is?
Alexa.
Alexa. Okay. Let's see here. Well, like Lucas, I was going to say that you also are probably one who are better with the tactile stuff, right? Like learning through doing. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
You also have a really pronounced significant philtrum, which is this area here. It's a little bit long and it looks pretty deep. And that actually is suggestive of creativity. What do you love to create?
I really love art. I love drawing and animation.
Drawing and animation.
Yeah.
And you are probably very, I would guess, are you much more about doing it manually than necessarily on the computer?
Yeah, manually.
Manually. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So using your hands to create these beautiful pieces of art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I want to encourage you to keep doing it because you will have abundant creativity throughout your whole life with a philtrum like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You also have a little bit of a little bit of a pronounced chin, and so that is the power to muscle through hard things in life. Like you can make things happen by your force of will. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Your ears. Well, you've got beautiful, also full earlobes, and that would be suggestive of having being cared for later in life. It looks also like maybe you would be more likely to take maybe a little bit more of a financial or a physical risk. How do you feel about how do you feel about, say, if I said, should we go skydiving?
I would probably say
no. Okay.
Yeah.
What about something like, I don't know, roller skating, or maybe like something a little bit, not terribly dangerous, but a little, like, requires a little bit of like savvy or skill?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
You would go roller skating, but not skydiving.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can push the water a little bit. What about rafting? Yeah, rafting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little like, how do I say, a little slightly dangerous, but also a lot of fun, right? Okay. What else can I say? You have something that we call money bags, and those are little areas of plumpness here. I am lucky and have a little bit too, and that just suggests that you probably are good at conserving for a rainy day. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Kind of like you feel safer having a little bit of resources set away for when you need it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. All right. Good. Hi there. Could I have 5 minutes of your time?
Absolutely. I'll catch up with you guys if you want to stay.
Great. I'm Hilarey.
I'm Adam.
I'm a face reader. Can I read your face?
I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. Does that bother you?
Not at all.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Jesus gave you your face for a reason.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm a face reader. I practice acupuncture. And the first thing that I noticed about you is that you have a little extra testosterone.
Oh, good.
Yes, that's a little bit more like chutzpah, like a little more oomph, like a little more masculinity. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will take that from you.
Yeah. You also have a little bump on your nose, and that is suggestive of somebody who's a very good leader.
Oh.
So how do we say, you'll take charge, you'll make things happen, and then also make sure that the people who come behind you are going to be safe to, make the path travel.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like that. I believe that. I try to follow Jesus Christ, and he leads my way. And so if I can just be like him, as far as I'm concerned, I'm leading, as long as I can be held accountable.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. You also have what we call money bags,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little extra flesh, which means that Jesus will always take care of you.
Oh, that's a fact. I believe this.
And you won't have to, how do I say, you'll be wise with financial resources, but also you will be cared for. You will have what you need.
I hope so, because my finances are not so good right now. But I trust in the Lord, and they'll come around.
Yeah.
It's not my make or break today. I need it to survive, but I need to follow the Lord, and He's provided for me. I agree with you.
Yeah, and and the suggestion is that absolutely that you will be cared for.
Sure.
Absolutely. You also have some dimples underneath your beard.
I have one. Yes.
And that's indicative of extra charm. So how do I say, it's disarming that sometimes people who have dimples can get away with stuff like being a little bit naughty.
Yeah, not me. I don't like to be naughty. I want to be held accountable in the body of Christ. I want to get that very clear. So yes, I try not to live a naughty life today.
Well, for sure. But at the same time, if an authority figure scolds you and you smile, they're probably a little easy on you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful. If somebody's scolding me, I want to read the situation, see if it's appropriate or not. I think it would be very disrespectful if I'm being scolded and you're smiling at them. It can come off very, very condescending. But yeah, I hope to be that when smile to disarm people, because I don't come up in arms at all.
Yeah. Your smile is disarming, and you don't have to be naughty. I mean,
no, sure, I understand that. Yeah, but my actions are my own, and I'm accountable for them. I understand. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Hi there. Hi, I'm Hilarey. I'm a face reader. Do you have 5 minutes for a
face reader?
Yeah, for a face reading. It's free.
So interesting.
It's so fun.
Leah's like, we want to walk.
5 minutes.
You want a face reading?
I would love to read your face too.
I'm curious. I'm just intrigued.
So I'm Hilarey.
Hi, Hilarey.
And you are?
Tanya.
Tanya. Okay, great. So I practice acupuncture, and a branch of Chinese medicine historically is face reading.
Okay.
And the first thing that I noticed about you is you are very detail oriented. Is that accurate?
Yes. How do you know that for my face?
Well, because your eyes are pretty close set.
They are.
And you can see details, right? You pick up where other people don't see anything. You can meticulously fine-tooth the details.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So you would be great. I don't know what you do professionally, but you're probably really good with like numbers and keeping people on track. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a career counselor now,
Okay.
but I've been many things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You also have an adorable dimple, and dimples are suggestive of a little extra charm. So if you pop your dimple when maybe you're getting scolded, people are like, "Oh, she's so sweet," and they're disarmed. They're receptive to you. You can sometimes get away with being a little bit naughty.
That's cute. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, if you get pulled over,
Right.
Like you're like, "I'm sorry, I was speeding," and then you're like
Right.
smile, and he's like, "I'm gonna let you go."
Right.
Do you get that? How do you?
I have been let go from my speeding tickets. Yeah, it's true. I didn't attribute it to my dimple, but
Well, it's when you have a dimple, it's like you present
Disarm.
as that, and it disarms people. Yeah.
Nice.
And it probably was even in childhood the case.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. You also have a pretty pronounced jaw, and that would be suggestive of, although you're disarming and charming and see details, you also have really incredible willpower. Like when you put your mind to something, you make it happen.
Wow.
Is that?
Wow. That's very accurate. Yes. I'm very driven, motivated, hardworking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Stubborn.
Stubborn. Yeah.
guess that's
Which
what
is,
I'm
again,
doing.
not a bad thing, right? It's an important skill to have in our world.
My partner might say otherwise, but
Well, we could read your partner, and they could let us know. Like, well, and sometimes it's from it's interesting to compare faces to see how you match and what potentially challenges there are.
oh, fascinating. That's so cool.
Yeah. What else can I tell you? You have a fairly prominent nose, a little bit, and that's suggestive of leadership ability. So see the details, can power through. You're a career counselor, so you probably tell people, well, guide them, right?
Yeah.
And I think of a leader, I think unfortunately in some cases leaders have negative associations with like, you know,
Power.
yeah, exactly. Like, how do I
Top
say?
down.
Well, and frankly, our political system, right, generally speaking, is not a very good example of what true leadership is. But, a true leader is willing to charge up the mountain, to blaze the trail,
Right.
in order to make it safe and and a little easier for everyone to follow behind.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can tell that from my nose.
Yeah.
My prominent nose.
It's not over the top prominent.
Okay.
And you have a little bit of, no, you don't really have much of a bump. So bumps are extra that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Extra.
Extra. Yeah. Can I take a peek at your ears?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, you also think a little differently than other people. Like you think for yourself. You'll accumulate different information, and then you'll kind of decide, and you might even kind of go your own way.
Absolutely.
With what information like you think for yourself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What is it about the ear
The
that you
ear
see?
slant back a little bit, and so
Okay.
it's you think I mean, how do I say? In it traditionally in how do I say, like, Chinese culture, you know, they wanted everybody to be in line, and so a little bit
conformity.
unusual was but I mean, I think it's awesome actually.
Right.
And mine slant back a little bit, and my mother's are practically on sideways.
The nonconformist.
Yeah, well, but again, it's like thinking for yourself. and
Right.
I think that's wise, frankly.
Yeah,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? I'm a face reader. Do you have 5 minutes to have your face read?
Sure.
Great. Come on over. Well, you have very kind eyes.
Thank you.
Well, gosh, this is something I'm seeing all day today, which is nice earlobes. Earlobes are suggestive of being taken care of later in life. Like, you don't have to worry about becoming old and not being cared for. Like, you'll
I
create...
don't plan on becoming old, so that's good to know.
That's good to know. Well,
Yeah.
and if you need to be taken care of, even if you're young, you will be cared for.
Okay.
Yeah. You also have nice cheekbones, which is about self-worth, like a good sense of self. Yeah. And again, kind eyes. What do you do for work?
I'm an accountant.
An accountant.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. But you also enjoy the finer things in life, like you have joy in your life. Like, it's not all about numbers. So is accounting something that you do for work? Like, I guess your eyes are a little, I can't say that exactly. Like, detail oriented.
Are you an astrologist at all?
I like astrology.
But is
not
it tangential to your work at all, or is it separate?
I guess I would say it's probably downstream a bit, but
Yeah.
there's probably some correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that fits with what I know about astrology and myself and my various signs and whatnot. So,
Well, tell me what you know about your astrology.
well, I know that I'm a Cancer
Okay.
is my sun sign, but I'm a Leo rising.
Okay.
So
good.
that's where I get.
You're outgoing.
I'm very outgoing on the surface, but inside I'm very sensitive, reserved. I have a very lead with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of helped me to realize myself a little bit.
Yeah.
I never really related it to my face at all, but
Yeah.
to me it makes sense that if you could base it off the moon and the sun and the stars and things like that, and you could make an inference about human beings through that, then why wouldn't you be able to do it through faces?
Right.
But you're saying it's a separate process.
I'm sure there's some overlap, but yes, I mean, I guess with face reading, like I said, like the first thing that I see would be your eyes, and the eyes are actually probably more, and the face would be like the rising sign. And so you said that your rising sign is Leo? Yeah. And I would say that also it's just how you present, and like you're kind of like fiery. You got some flair, right? Like you're a hip dresser,
I like the fire. Yeah.
but also you're kind of a hip dresser, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, and then I'm just like thinking back to the accounting, and from a face reading perspective, you have a pretty prominent forehead, and so and that's actually about the ability to receive information and like distill, and you know what I mean. So like you're probably good with numbers, but I imagine that you could also be good with other things like I don't know, maybe even like philosophy or other, I guess I'd say more intellectual pursuits. Is that true of you?
Yeah, I got my master's in philosophy.
Master's in philosophy, and you work as an accountant.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Good job.
Yeah. Yeah. You also have pretty full lips, which suggest that you enjoy sensual pleasures. And I guess that would probably be associated with Leo too. But
And Cancer probably a little bit.
well, Cancer.
Yeah.
When I think of Cancer, there's like an emotional sensitivity.
A torturedness.
Well, I'm a Capricorn, so we're opposite, and there's like
Yes,
this desire
yes.
to like care for, right? Like there's this natural
Caretaker,
caringness and sensitivity.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, leadership ability.
Okay.
Yeah. You have a prominent nose, which suggests the ability to lead the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much. That was great.